Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy I for the Nintendo Entertainment System, played on the Wii Virtual Console. As you can see, all our characters are now at level 3, so they'll be in a pretty good position to take on Garland up in the Temple of Fiends to the northwest. That's where he apparently took the kidnapped princess, Princess Sara, and it's what King Coneria has tasked us to go and rescue his daughter, so that'll obviously, I guess, help put us in his good graces, and also that of the Queen. She's the one who's really depressed and sad, you know, because her daughter's been taken away. Understandably so. So, here's the Rune Temple. I like the little graphic there. You can tell it's all messed up. So straight ahead is where Garland is. He's right in the center of the temple. But before we go take on Garland, we're gonna head over on the perimeter of the temple. There's a few treasure chests that we can get, so there's rooms in each of the 4 corners. We can only get into 2 of them though. 2 on the right are locked. You're gonna need the Mystic Key, similar to those doors in Coneria Castle. So, got a bunch of new enemies in this area. A lot of them are undead. I guess it's fitting. We're in a rune, so. Zombies not too tough. There was a palette swap of the zombies, though, that are tougher, though. The ghouls, so. You get a cap. It's a piece of headgear. Not very good, but hey, at this point in the game, any defensive all we can get is good, so. I mean, enemies aren't hitting very hard, so even if she's only, 1 or 2 points of defense, it will help out, so. We got spiders there. So, I'm putting the stats up of everything as they, as you go along there. So that attack, that 10 attack times 1, that means it has an attack power of 10, and the times 1 is how many hits it can use. Enemies like our characters can have multiple hits, so as enemies get stronger, they'll be able to hit us more often. So, gotta watch out for that, so. And then there's, some enemies that, like have like a bunch of tentacles or whatever, they might have multiple hits even with the low attack power, so. That can be a real problem if an enemy has, like a special ability attached to its attack. So some characters have like a poison ability, some have a stun ability, so every time that they use an attack, it has a chance to have that special ability happen. Like for instance, this ghoul right here, it has a stun touch. Every time it hits though, it has attack times 3, so there's 3 chances that that stun touch is gonna go through and stun one of our characters. So see right there, it hit Fibbs there. Now Fibbs is stunned because it has that secondary ability though. You see it had attack time. It hit twice there. So yeah, like I said, that's a pretty dangerous thing for some enemies that have a secondary ability attached to their attack. So all of our characters, while I was leveling up, I got enough money to buy all the spells that they need. See, Marty, he is at the Cure spell. Fibbs has the Cure spell too. The other 2 spells Fibbs has is Ruse. Ruse is just a single target spell for the caster. It makes them, puts like a shield in front of them. It makes them harder to hit. And then Harm is multi-target. It hits every enemy on the in the battle, but it only works against undead. So it's our first multi-targeting spell, but like I said, it's only good on undead. So there's Garland. There's the prince behind him. No one touches my princess. Light warriors, you impertinent fools. I, Garland, will knock you all down. And here we have Garland, the first boss of the game. So, as you can see, his attack power isn't that much stronger than some of the enemies we were fighting, but he has a lot more hit points, so. We'll throw up the ruse for Fibbs there. If you put up like basically 2 ruses on your white mage, they're pretty much going to be able to avoid all of Garland's attacks. So one thing you could have done is I could have moved Fibbs up to the front row, and if I had enough spell slots, had him basically cast Ruse on himself twice, and basically, you know, be the tank for the party. So 50% of the attacks would have went toward him, and he would be able to dodge them all because the 2 ruses. So I'm mainly having Marty be basically the healer now because Fibbs is out of spell charges. I do have some healing potions, 2 of them. I could drink them. Under the command, you have a command that says drink. You can use that to use a potion. So, and the drink command, it also you know, works for everybody. So like you can have, say, Fibbs use the drink command, but feed the potion to, you know, Milo or Wimbley. So it's one way you can have your non-healers heal. So all the bats say the same thing. So you are the Light Warriors, thank you. And luckily, after we talk with the princess, we warp back to the castle. So thank you for saving the princess. To aid you in your quest, I ordered a bridge built to the continent. This loot has been passed down from the queen to princess for 2,000 years. Garland stole it from me when he kidnapped me. Please accept it as a gift, as it might come in handy. So keep in mind that 2,000 years, the loot will be very important toward the end of the game. So yeah, we get it at the very beginning of the game, but it doesn't come into use until the very end. Thank you for rescuing the princess. That's what that other guard said too. Most of the guards will say pretty much that. A lot of the people will say pretty much that, so. Yes, sir, I belong to the honor guard of Castle Coneria. Usually after you complete like a quest, you want to talk with all the people again, because they may give you new information. See how the queen's doing. Thank you for saving Princess Sara. No problemo. We'll talk with the sister over there. We learn her name is Jane at the end of the game. Thank you for rescuing the princess. Let's talk with the invisible person and the scholar up here. Legend says that the loot can break the evil gate. That's basically your only clue on what the loot does. So, you are the Light Warriors. Yes, we are. And we have kind of proven that we are good warriors by rescuing the princess. Yes, sir, I belong to the honor guard of Castle Coneria. Now, those 2 guys up there, my sister is back safe, thank you. They say the same thing, the ones who are guarding the treasury up there. They basically tell us, you know, because we haven't completed that quest yet to get the Mystic Key. That's going to be a very big, long chain of quests. So let's see what the people in Coneria say. This is Coneria, the Dream City. So even though we got warped back here, we're still going to have to heal up. So that's what the inn is for. That'll restore all our hit points and the spell charges for our characters. North of Coneria lives a witch named Matoya. Lucan left this town to join his callings in Crescent Lake. Warriors, revive the power of the orbs. That's our overwhelming quest goal, but it's gonna take a while. Matoya's poor eyesight. She needs the crystal to see. In the meantime, you know, we'll be solving little smaller problems here and there. My home is Provoca, a beautiful port city far to the east. We couldn't reach that earlier, but now that the king has built a bridge north of the castle, we'll be able to head to the rest of the continent. So earlier there was that little strip of water, like a little river. We couldn't cross that because you can't walk across water. But when we head up there, you'll see there's a bridge, and when we step on that bridge, we'll get the Final Fantasy theme, and we'll get some credits and a little bit more intro to the game. So let's step on the bridge and see what the game says. And so their journey begins. See the little characters on the right there? Our little party. Milo, Marty, Wimbley, and Fibbs. What await the 4, they do not know. Each holding an orb that 2,000 years ago shined with beauty from within, but now only darkness. Come, start your journey. Return the light of peace to our world. Programmed by Nasir, character design Yamano, scenario by Kenji, production Square 18. So you can pause. I didn't get to read it all there because I kind of went fast. We got a little dock up there. Anywhere there's like brick where the ends in water, that's a port. And any of those tiles that have brick on them are tiles that enemies can't attack you from. So those are encounter-free steps. So if you're trying to avoid encounters, you can walk on those brick steps. So, got a new enemy there, the Bone. We could have ran into them in the Temple of Fiends, but we didn't, so I didn't bother trying to farm them in there because I knew they'd be available on the overworld here. So I will be doing some farming on the overworld, like to get all the monsters. As always, I do 100% when I play these games, so I'm going to try to show off, well, I am going to show off all the monsters, so. Here we got an ogre. It's almost as tough as Garland. It actually has higher attack than Garland. Garland had 15 attack times 1. This has 18 attack times 1. Has a little less hit points than Garland, 4 less hit points, but hits a little harder. These guys are good for experience and gold. As you can see, later on we're going to have to do some farming. There's going to be a big spike in difficulty, and Ogre's going to be a really good character to farm against, so I'll point that out later when it comes to it. But a magic spell, he's saying something weird. If you read it backwards, what the broom is saying push B select. See, push B select, a magic spell. And what that does is that when you're on the overworld, if you push B and select at the same time, a map of the world will appear. Where's my crystal? I can't see anything without it. Who stole my crystal? This is obviously the witch Matoya. She lives north of Coneria, as that one villager said. And she can't see because she's missing her crystal. We're going to have to, of course, find that crystal. So, as part of a group of quests. So, select the loot. Beautiful music fills the air, but nothing happens. She's blind, so she can't see, so let's steal all her treasure. And let's step outside and use that magic spell. B select. Here comes the world map. We're in the flashy cross, that's our position, and anywhere there's like a dot blinking, that is a point of interest. It could be a town, it could be a dungeon. So, if you're lost where to go, you can always bring up your map and look for the nearest flashing dot. That's your point of interest. So we're getting a pretty good bit of gold here, but that gold ain't gonna last us too long. There's gonna be a lot of stuff to buy in Provoca, the town that one guy said, the port city. Walk in the desert, and we get another new enemy here, the creep. So, these enemies are weak against fire, so we can use Milo's fire spell. That could help if it can deal extra damage. So, might be able to take one out. So, these guys come in frequent groups with ogres. So eventually, like I said, when we get to Elfland, where we were told the Mystic Key was sent for safekeeping, there's going to be a field to the east of Elfland, and in that field, it's common to run into groups of ogres and creeps. And they're like a really good group to fight to gain experience in gold, because we're gonna have to do some grinding. So, unlike future Final Fantasies where grinding isn't really necessary, depending on your party, you're gonna have to do some grinding in this game. So we have an enemy with a group with two types of enemies in. The wolves are the brown characters. Right now, their stats are up there. And then we have the GR wolf, which is, I guess, gray wolf. But I know some runners of this game call them grape wolves because the gray looks like purple rather than gray. So they call them grape wolves. So, actually, the person who says that is Gyre. He's the same runner who does the Zelda 2 speed runs. He's the one who caused the lava in that game, the marinara sauce. So, as you can see, the Grey Wolf is much stronger, much more hit points, but of course that means it gives more experience and more gold, so... Luckily, this group wasn't that, you know, hard in the sense that it could have been worse. It could have been a whole bunch of Grey Wolves and, you know, one lone regular wolf. So, we got off lucky. So... Now, Provoker ain't too far away, so if we need be, don't feel that you have to hold back your spells. So, once you hit the desert around here, you're basically halfway between where Coneria and Provoker. It gives you a good idea in terms of your journey. So, now when making our journey, we want to try to walk on the plains as much as possible. Each area has a kind of set encounter rate, so the plains have a little less encounter rate than the forest. I guess, you know, monsters can hide in the forest easier and ambush you. Help! I guess I was wrong. They were more like 3/4 of the way to Provoker from the desert. This town has been invaded by pirates. Uh-oh. Oh, pirates ain't good. Now, President Fibbs, he had a pirate adventure on MartyMousehouse.com, and that was pretty good. I mean, it was a fun adventure, but, you know, they were nice pirates. Well, and Fibbs was actually the pirate in that adventure, so, you know, President Fibbs being the good rat that he was, you know, there was nothing bad about that adventure. But the pirates that we're going to run into here, yeah, they're bad. So... Also, most of the spells for second level white magic are pretty bad. We're gonna get the A-Lit and the Invis spell. A-Lit puts up a barrier that protects you from lightning spells. So eventually enemies will be using spells, just like us, and so if you're running into an enemy that uses lightning, you can use that. Level 2 spells are also pretty bad. Ice is the only one we really want. Dark is useless. It's bugged. It's supposed to reduce the enemy's accuracy, so it doesn't work though. Same thing, the enemy, if they use a dark spell on us, it doesn't work on us, so it helps us in that sense too. We're going to get the short sword there for Marty. That'll be our next big purchase. The other black magic spells there, Temper. Also bug, doesn't work, but that was supposed to increase the attack power of whoever you cast it on by, I believe, 10%. But once again, bugged, doesn't work, so no point buying it. Slow slows down. It says it reduces an enemy's intelligence. What that means is that some enemies that have multiple hits, say they have like 2 hits or 3 hits, slow reduces the amount of hits they can do, so it reduces them from like 3 hits to 1 hit. But it's very inaccurate, so it's, for the most part, it's better just spend your spell on or your turn on a spell that, you know, takes out the enemy quicker. So we're gonna buy gloves. They give 1 point of defense and 1 point of avoid to all our characters. So once again, not a very big boost to our defense, but every little bit counts here in the early goings of the game. Especially for our next big encounter, our next little boss encounter. Let's talk with this guy. I am Biggie the Pirate, and surprised I am that you scurvy dogs have the nerve to test me? And he says, boys, attack him. So we have to fight 9 pirates here. Individually, they're weak. They only have 6 hit points each, so pretty much anybody can take them out with 1 hit. Even weak characters like Fibbs and Milo. But the problem is there's 9 of them. So if they all ganged up on a character, they could do some serious damage. So that's why, you know, it was important that we got a little bit more defensive power there. So we almost cut their numbers in half here. So if we're lucky, you know, 3 rounds will be all it takes to finish them off. Luckily, our characters ain't missing. Yeah, characters miss a lot in the early game, but that's because our characters only have, you know, one attack. So once you hit that 32 attack percentage, hit percentage, then we'll get like a second attack added. So even if we miss on our first attack, we have a second attack to back it up. So, all right, we defeated the pirates. We gained a lot of gold, and we gain another level for everybody. Woohoo! So, let's check out our stats there, popping up. Milo gains some strength. That's pretty rare usually. Alright, let's see what Bicky has to say now. Okay, you got me. Take me ship. Alright, and now we'll get a ship, and look, a whole bunch of people appear. So yeah, now that the pirates are dealt with, the citizens are no longer afraid, so they've come out of hiding, and we're able to talk with them. But let's just step out here real quick, see the ship that we got, and we'll explore the town and talk with the people and see what the ship has to offer in our next episode. Take care, bye.